Let's get going out there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the world. Welcome on into the Sports Buffoon Studios once again out of Lenexa, Kansas. Getting crunk up in this business. I don't know what we call JG's little shimmy dance, but we got JG to my left, Tanner Dawson to my right, and yes, you see him holding up the flag. Obviously, this is AFC Championship Week here in Chiefs Kingdom. So
let's go.
We are
Yay!
very pumped for that to go down.
Yay!
Once again, and we have a lot of reasons to want to be animated and excited for this game too, you guys, because clearly the Bengals think they have this thing in the bag, right?
Oh, Bengals are favorites.
Yeah.
The Bengals should win this game.
They
No
got
problem.
all the confidence and everything. I mean,
They're in Burrowhead. Joey
Yeah,
B's the greatest quarterback on earth.
Most importantly, they've been there and they've done that, so there's nothing more to achieve.
right, and we'll get into that a little bit more here in a few minutes. But first and foremost, I want to introduce you guys. How you guys been? How's the week going?
It's going great, man. It's going great. Made a lot of money this week, man, at the casino. So that's what I try to do every week.
I can't wait to revisit our easy money
that's
bet of
what
the
we
week,
do, man.
and see how everyone turned out. But for that,
Yeah, I'm good. I'm actually speaking of betting. I'm actually working on some models this week, trying to get stuff more automated and a little bit more analytical into my bets. So I've been taking a pause on it. So excited for it.
So
you're saying you're taking a pause on sports betting?
I mean, I'm betting a little bit, but like serious bets kind of thing.
Mm.
Like it's a pause till I can get this thing figured out.
I think it's good to do that. I've done that a little bit this year at certain times where the very September, October, November, I was betting like crazy. Decided to pause it for a bit and just slow things down a bit. It's getting a little crazy out here. Not that it was not succeeding. It was just more like, all right, let's just corral this thing back in for a moment.
I kind of did what you did, right? I cashed out. I left a little in there so I can have a little fun. But I'm like I said, I'm working on some analytical stuff right now this week, and I'm trying to get it all figured out.
Well, your boy Nick Bodkin over there is already trying to show off. Talk about Daddy's coming home, boys.
I told you, Nick.
Joey B, Daddy's coming home to take care of Patty.
I'm aware, Nick. Don't worry.
All right. Well, before we crack into clearly NFL talk today, what are you guys sipping on?
A lot of shit over here. Tanner actually made my drink, so it could be a surprise drink. I don't even know. It's probably rum or something.
We got a little rum and some 0-calorie Pepsi. So with of course some 0-calorie ice, because that's how it always goes.
0-calorie ice.
Right?
Yeah, that's the best part. That's why I feel fucking amazing right now.
Not all ice is 0 calories, you guys, because sometimes you have margaritas. Sometimes the alcohol will stick to the ice a little bit, and all of a sudden now your ice has a few calories here and there, as well as some ABV.
That's fair, Nick. That's fair. Kansas, KU has not helped me in my betting spree. So that's fair.
KU's going to get better, though. KU's getting better. They've hit rock bottom, and it's time to turn it around.
We got a tough schedule. I don't know if you saw. So we had Baylor, right? We still have K-State coming up. We got Kentucky, Saturday. Iowa State's right after that again. Like, this Big 12 schedule is no easy task this year. So
this is the time. They got to turn it around.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to do it, they got to do it now.
Otherwise, they're going to be a fucking 5 seed in the tournament.
Yeah, 3, 4, 5.
How shitty would that be if KU was a 5 seed?
The worst thing KU's done in 33 years would be that would be the worst thing they've done in 33 years.
If they were a 5 seed, man, I would do like Happy Gilmore. I'd kick my own ass if they end up being a 5 seed this year. That's pretty sad. But I don't think it's going to happen though. They're going to turn that shit around.
I ain't worried about it.
All right, I'm gonna.
Sorry, we started talking.
That thing squirted all over my face.
Yeah, you'll be okay.
Holy
there?
moly!
Damn. Can you wear a mask?
I mean, that would help. I would love to have had a mask right there. That thing just popped right into me.
Damn you! Wear a mask the next time you do that. You spewed all over my face.
The fact we're this close together, I could probably hit you from this far away anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Don't let it happen again.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's dig in to the real stuff right now. So
we're going to talk. Starting on?
What do you mean we're starting on?
Are we going to start on the NFC side this week since we started AFC last week?
Why are we doing that? I mean, we can go back and forth a little bit. I mean, clearly,
the
people are here to hear us talk about the Chiefs.
Trying to bring fairness into the NFL spree of the buffoon.
Watkins wants to hear about Aaron Rodgers' favorite quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. So I mean, we got to make sure we let him know about what's going to happen with him this weekend. So
I love it.
Well, Aaron Rodgers is going to be playing for the Jets next year, so I don't feel like Bodkins wants to hear any of that.
that's the last thing Aaron Rodgers is going to go.
I already put out there. Bodkins was on the Scott Cope show today, and I was bothering him just with like Bengal stuff and all that. They were talking Zeke, and I go, I just heard that Zeke and Aaron Jones just got traded for traded 1-for-1. Zeke is now a Packer.
That's great. That's great stuff, man. It's all good fun. It's all good fun.
It is.
Yeah, the RB2 for the Cowboys, Mr. Zeke.
Well, now he's the RB1.
Yeah, well,
because the other guy broke his dick.
For the offseason, he broke his dick. It'll be healed. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes things go wrong, and you can break a dick and come back a few weeks later.
That's
and be
true.
fine, so.
Sometimes the dick heals a little bit.
Oh yeah,
I'm just messing around.
You ever sprained your dick before?
Yes. I have sprained my dick, and it was not a good time. But,
all right.
What is that? My timetable was 8 to 12 weeks. Yours might have been a little bit shorter. No offense. Your timetable might have been a little bit shorter.
Well, I was in my prime, so it was a little bit shorter, quicker healing time, and I felt like at the time I was an elite athlete.
Was it
similar?
That was before he was 30.
Well, yeah.
But mine was a high dick sprain. Yours was a low dick sprain. That's why it took me a a little bit longer to recover.
Yeah, mine was more of the middle range, it felt like, but
are we really getting that
fixable.
into it?
What are you talking about?
Hey,
get back.
Twofull over here.
So guys, speaking of sprains,
except Twofull.
Obviously the number one sprain out here up in the NFL world right now is about Patrick Mahomes and his high ankle sprain, which as we all know, is typically a 4 to 6 week injury for most positions in the football world. Now, in this case, obviously, with Patrick Mahomes, I mean, luckily he's not a running back having to cut and move in all different directions at any given moment. What are you laughing about? Look like a bendy struck. Well, here the thing with the dick sprain is more of it doesn't do that right away.
Oh my Lord!
But I mean, it's basically sore for a couple of weeks minimum. So
the bottom line is
you can play with a sprain though. I'll put it that way.
The bottom line is as long as your balls still work and they're still in production, you don't really have to worry about your dick that
how much did your performance drop off when you had that dick sprain?
Mine didn't drop off at all because, like I said, as long as the balls keep producing, it's going to come out one way or the other.
That's my point. You fight through the pain of the sprain, but you could still perform at a high level.
That's true.
You
must fight through the pain. It is a pain management issue, damn it.
I'm in disbelief.
Because you know what? The pleasure of success is way greater than all the pain of that sprain.
What is it this week, right? Bodkins opened it up with a very inappropriate joke on Monday night.
Inappropriate? What the fuck? Everybody wants to know about this.
You guys are talking about this. Like, what's my look here for like talking about different stuff?
What did you say that was inappropriate? We're talking about sprains. We're talking about Patrick Mahomes and his ankle.
He talked about, I can't remember, like some granny or something like that. Like, just.
We're talking about insane. Tanner, the will to succeed no matter the circumstance in a high stakes situation, such as a potential dick sprain, such as a high ankle sprain. Man. It's the playoffs. And guess what? When you have a dick sprain, same kind of thing. I mean, it's the playoffs. You got to show out. It doesn't really matter. And so
you have to figure out a way to finish is what I think we're trying to say.
Finish strong.
Don't just play for 24 minutes like the Chiefs did last year in the AFC Championship game, be up 21-3 and then shit the bed. You have to figure out a way to finish.
Well, that was without a sprain. So obviously in this situation,
and he still couldn't finish.
The Chiefs, the good news is, you guys, the Chiefs, at the very least, now we heard about the injury report today. I feel better today coming into this Wednesday than I felt about the game at all up to this point because, obviously the ankle injury that happened to Patrick Mahomes was significant at the time. There was a lot left up in the air, and it was kind of scary to just watch unfold. We weren't sure how severe it would be. He talked about this week how it was actually healing faster than he realized it would. And Andy Reid felt the same way.
Yeah, they call that kneecap injury he had worse.
Well, not just the kneecap injury, Tanner. The Week 1 2019 Jaguars left ankle sprain.
Yeah, that's right.
They said that was worse.
Yep.
In which case he played Week 2 and Week 3 and then totaled something like 800 yards passing.
Yeah, I remember that now.
In those games. So, but no, the thing is with this current Chiefs team right now at the moment is that Mecole Hardman looks like he's going to be back this week. Joe Thuney's playing in this game, something he did not do against the Bengals the last time. And, of course, we have Jalen Watson, out there making plays, and he didn't play in the last Bengals game either earlier this year. So, and I didn't realize until today he had a broken hand during this season. We didn't even know about it until he brought it up in an interview.
Jalen Watson?
Jalen Watson had a broken hand. The pass he caught, the interception he caught, Tanner, last weekend was with his broken hand.
Impressive.
So I'm saying he made that play with his broken hand. I didn't realize it was broken, but it makes sense as to why he was not on the field during the midpoint of the season for a while. We saw a lot of Joshua Williams. Joshua Williams is who was targeted the most in that last Bengals game, in which case, those guys Higgins and Chase were putting a number on him. So now in this situation, we're seeing a team, I think a complete team now together, healthy for the most part. Andy Reid even said today, hey, we're all good to go. Everyone's ready. Jody Fortson looks like he can play this week. Even if we needed to, Clyde Edwards-Helaire looks like he can play this week. So, I mean, I feel good about the team right now going into this game without a doubt because of the health factor, which is crazy to say because obviously the main man of the team does have an ankle injury. Luckily, it's not as significant as we might have thought it was in the beginning. But, going into this situation, going into this game with the Bengals, they're highly confident. I get that. I understand why they would be and why they should be. The idea of Burrowhead is idiotic, though, because they beat the Chiefs one time. Joe Burrow's beat the Chiefs one time in Arrowhead Stadium. That doesn't mean you own the place. This is not Mile High, a place that Patrick Mahomes owns. This is not Las Vegas over there for the Raiders. Mahomes owns that too. You come to Arrowhead one time. You got to win. Good job, Joe. But that is idiotic for people to go out there and players like Mike Hilton and dumbasses like Eli Apple out there talking about, this is Burrowhead. Get real. Come on. So before we break down some numbers, you guys, what are your initial thoughts going into the week for the Bengals Chiefs game?
It's gonna be a hell of a matchup. That's all I'm gonna say. I like the confidence. I like where we're sitting at as a Chiefs fan. It's gonna be a hell of a game. I think the only thing I'm worried about is the fact that the Bengals are. I told you guys about this last week against the Bills, but the Bengals are the second best time of possession team, and we all know the formula that beat the Chiefs. You keep Mahomes off the damn field. It's hard for Mahomes to beat you. So I think that would be my biggest worry. Not necessarily the playmakers that they have, not necessarily the defense they have. It's the ability to get those first downs and work the clock. And I think that's going to be the biggest key of it all for Cincy and KC.
I think the biggest thing we've seen in the previous matchups is the fact for some reason the Chiefs cannot get pressure on the Bengals offensive line, on Burrow. For some reason, the offensive line situation with the Bengals steps it up 3 notches when they face Kansas City. And the last game, Joe Mixon was out. Samaje Perine was putting up 5 yards a carry, no problem. So how come this Chiefs team, who finished off second in the NFL in sacks, why do they seem to struggle so much against the Bengals? And what is different about that team? Is it because of the release of Burrow? I mean, I don't understand that because that's the biggest factor. Chris Jones has now gone 14 playoff games in his career and had 0 sacks.
There's
no reason for it. That has to change. That's almost a full season's worth.
Yeah, I don't see any reason for it. Joe Burrow's not getting the ball out any quicker. Obviously, he'll on the ball for sacks. There's no reason for it. I don't know.
Yeah, there's definitely no reason for it. I feel like it's just one of those teams, before we started losing, the 3 games in a row to the Bengals, I feel like it's just one of those teams, we just never took them that seriously. The Chiefs never took them that seriously. They didn't respect Joe Burrow, what have you. But right now, it's kind of I feel like the whole Burrowhead thing is something that they were celebrating after the last time that they beat us last year in Arrowhead. And I think it's one of those things that it's just it's gone to their heads after that game happened last year. And then they beat us again in the regular season. And I just feel like at some point, this whole thing about the Bengals having the Chiefs number has to come to an end. And I think that now is the time. I think it has to come to an end. Yeah, I mean, you guys just said it. This is one of my keys to the game. You've got to get to Joe Burrow early and often. And it's up to Chris Jones. I mean, yeah, you can put a little bit of that on Spags to dial up some blitzes here and there. But Chris Jones is the guy that just really hasn't done a whole lot in the playoffs. And so I want to see us get to Joe Burrow. And then you had another thing out there with one of the players on the Bengals saying that, well, I hope that Mahomes is 100% because we don't want any excuses after we beat their ass, essentially is what he said. And I'm not too sure that you really want that, dude. I'm not sure that you want 100% Patrick Mahomes because they've beat us 3 times in a row. And at some point, I don't care how good you are. I don't care how good your roster is, how many weapons you have on the offense. At some point, it's going to come to a head, and you are going to have a revenge game. And I hope to God that right now is a time that that's going to happen. But, I feel like this is a pick'em game, but I feel like the Chiefs have the advantage in terms of, are you really going to beat a team 4 times in a row if you're the Bengals? I just
That'd be tough.
I just don't see it happening. I mean, as long as the Chiefs will stick to the run game, that's one of the most important things to me. Stick to the run game, and that's one of the ways that if you want to protect that ankle, we don't know how bad that ankle is for Patrick Mahomes, but if you really want to try to protect him, let's stick to the run game. Not in the first half. Let's stick to the run game the entire fucking game. I don't care if you get up 21-3 like you did last time around. Don't fucking give up. Keep your foot on the gas. Stick to the run game, and keep putting up points. But I think at some point, you can't beat the best quarterback in the NFL 4 times in a row. That's what it comes to for me.
There's a few good points that you brought up about the run game, and to start off there, because if you guys think about the history between the Bengals and the Browns, and the Browns have beat them up until this last game, I believe that they had like 7 or 8 times in a row.
Yeah,
the Browns were purely dominant against the Bengals. Fact being, the great ground game that they carry over there in Cleveland. Obviously Nick Chubb is the focal point of that offense, and you got Nick Chubb, you have Kareem Hunt, and the ground games would carry them to those victories. The Chiefs put up 5.5 yards per carry in that last game as a team, and yet they got away from that run game so fast. And I feel like maybe that's one of the reasons, Andy Reid maybe doesn't match up great with the Bengals because of the fact he can't help himself but want to throw the ball 40 times a game.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's a little bit of a problem. Maybe that's kind of a realization that, hey, now that we do have, Kadarius Toney, Mecole Hardman on the field at the same time, we have, obviously Pacheco had a great game last week. Let's find ways to have a jet sweeps. Let's find ways to create power. Just find ways to get the run game involved within the offense more than normal. And also in that case, taking some pressure off Patrick to have to sit back there with, the current ankle injury and throw the ball around 40 times a game. I'd rather not do that. I'd rather him take a few shots down the field in a play action situation, be able to capitalize on the run game succeeding. And clearly that's the name of the game. That's the goal right there. I mean, that's what the Browns have been doing. Why not copy and paste similar aspect of the Browns when we know we have better talent than the Browns do? We can find ways to win in that same style of offense.
And what do we always say about teams that face Patrick Mahomes? The only way to stop him is to keep him off the field. Well, now we're in a situation where the public believes that Joe Burrow is the second best quarterback in the league. So now we need to start thinking along those same lines as, well, how do you beat Joe Burrow? Keep him off the fucking field. How do you keep him off the field? Establish the running game and stick with the running game.
And I do have good news for you guys.
That's true.
So speaking of pressure real quick, so the starting left tackle in this game for the Bengals has 1 career start to his name to this point in his career. And we all know playoff Frank Clark. We know in playoffs hit, he's top 5 all time.
Easy.
As a pass rusher. And he is. We laugh.
I don't know why, because
he's
he didn't do shit in the regular
top 5
season.
all time as a pass rusher in the playoffs.
Let's go.
And facing off a left tackle with 1 career start to his name. So, I mean, there's no reason if we can, move Chris Jones over there. Move Chris Jones to the outside for a few plays and see if he gets sacked.
That's the issue, though. We've seen this before, right? Each Bengals team, I feel like the offensive line has either been hurt or it's been horrible, and we still can't create pressure.
There's no excuse at this point to not create pressure against them.
Let's hit the comments here real quick here. We got a list. Carlos is here. He says, I'm here saying nobody's giving the best player no credit. Talk about Mahomes. He says Mother Nature snow slowed the Bills defense and helped Burrow get more done than usual. Bodkins over here out saying, y'all keep Joey B off the field. He'll carve you up. Bengals D is very underrated.
Well, the people are right now comparing Joey B to Tom Brady because of the style of quarterback play he uses, which means he does rely on checkdowns. He's a pocket quarterback. He's not a big scrambler necessarily, but I think he's efficient in the passing game and playing in the pocket.
Yeah, remember too.
But also, he's T. Higgins and Jamar Chase.
I was about to say he has weapons.
Whereas Tom Brady early on had Troy Brown and
Deion Branch.
Deion Branch, yeah.
Carlos out here saying, by the way, I keep telling you the Bills are pretenders. You did, Carlos. We'll catch up with you later on this here. Chiefs better score 27 points or they're going to lose this game. That's from Carlos as well. I feel it does have to be a big scoring game. Bodkins out here saying a little nervous that the Bengals are chirping and everyone's picking the Bengals. The public is on the Bengals. Just keep that in mind as we get closer.
I'm a fan of that. I like it. I like it. I don't mind. It doesn't bother me at all.
Before we get to the Tufel question, I got 2 more comments here. Carlos said Dolphins lost 7 in a row. Anything is possible.
Yeah.
And we'll call that a sweep in basketball. Bengals 4-0.
Yeah. Hey, here's the thing. You can't go down 0-4 against the Bengals if you're the Chiefs.
No, you can't.
It just can't happen. I mean, especially to go to the Super Bowl again, because then you're looking at Burrow going to back-to-back Super Bowls. Now, depending on who goes on the NFC side, I mean, we don't know what's going to happen yet, but I don't think you can allow that to happen if you're Mahomes, because then everyone in this entire world will be talking about how Burrow's the best in the NFL now. He's the number 1 quarterback.
And Burrowhead becomes a reality, not just like bulletin board material. It becomes a reality.
That'd be what, 2 AFC title games in Arrowhead?
Right.
All right.
You can't let it happen. You can't do it.
Tufel with the interesting question here. He wants to know if you could bring back one ex-Chief for this game only in condition of the prime, who would you add?
One ex-Chief for this game only.
You got?
Oh, these are good questions. I like questions like that.
I got to go with my gut instinct, which is something that I didn't do on our parlay last weekend for the Buffoon bet, but I'm going to go with Andre Rison just because he's a big baller, and I feel like he's a guy that can make big game plays and big game situations.
It's an interesting choice to go with Andre Rison.
That is an interesting choice.
Yeah, to go with Andre is a pretty interesting choice. I don't know what to think of that, actually.
That is not what I expected to come.
Well, I would have thought like you about Derek Alexander.
To be fair, like
I don't know, I go that route.
I felt sorry for him because Tupac allegedly stole his girlfriend, so I felt sorry for the guy. I got to give him some props out here.
Just get Snoop Minutes.
You don't want Otis Taylor maybe or something like? Hey, I do like this Facebook
Andre
user
Rison.
or no Willie. No, sorry, not Facebook user. We have Willie Rofe up there on the board. I like that quite a bit because that would be a huge upgrade over Orlando Brown in the pass blocking department. So I do like that.
Second choice would be Len Dawson because if
what are you gonna do with Len Dawson?
Well, his ankle is fucked up.
Who
dude.
gives a shit?
He needs a good backup quarterback.
God damn. Okay, I like the Derek Thomas pick is a good one.
Derek Thomas, yeah.
Tony Gonzalez, who's a better tight end than.
He wants that
Travis
double
Kelce.
tight end combo. I'm better. I'm okay with that more than I am Rison.
You guys went off the rails with this topic.
No, so okay, here's what I'm gonna do.
Wrong with you?
So because this player was a better, and I mean this, he was a better all-around player than Derek Thomas. I'd probably go. Can I go with an in the prime?
Yeah,
an in the prime.
In the prime.
Justin Houston. Give me that 22 sack Justin Houston lined up opposite of Frank Clark and Chris Jones in the middle.
Oh, in their prime. I didn't know we were going with that. I got to go with.
This sounds like a fantasy situation.
I got to go with Derek Thomas then. Fuck that. Well, you're going in their prime.
Derek's a great pick.
I want to rough some people up.
I want a guy who can stop the run too, which Justin Houston could do that. So I like Justin just to be the run stopper and that 22 sack JT. I want to be on the field
Understood.
So that's probably what I would go with, I guess. Or maybe let's go Jared Allen.
I like that.
It was fun.
And I was trying to think somebody not on that would be on the line essentially. So I would go DJ in this one.
DJ's a good one.
DJ Nick Bolton combo,
too, dude.
Like that, and be able to help Nick Bolton out for a game on a little.
Nobody said Jamal Charles. You guys never said
doesn't make
Jamal
any
Charles.
sense. It doesn't make sense. So what about corners? Maybe corners need some help against these great receivers of Chase and T. Higgins.
Dale Carter.
Bring back Dale Carter.
Hell yeah.
Maybe James Hasty because he was so physical.
In
bringing those kind of guys.
Granted, it was for only about a year. Just being playing with the newer players, I would take for the yearly prime guy, the 1 year guy, Marcus Cooper.
What?
I'd take Cooper
Oh,
in the corner.
don't piss
What the
Mike
fuck
off
are you
like
talking
that.
about?
He had one good year, and that's what I'm
What the
going
hell
with.
is wrong? You thought his good year was worthy of being the choice to have one player on this team?
Over Trent McDuffie.
God damn, you
Oh,
Thank
suck.
you.
gosh.
That's awful.
You just pissed him
Who
off.
would
He
you-
shit the
Tanner.
bed.
Who would you want?
He just shit the bed.
He shit the bed.
Give me
dude.
Brandon Flowers. Give me Brandon Carr. Give me,
Well, try not to be obvious.
give me Mighty Mouse. Give me
Try
Mighty
not
Mouse.
to be
I'll take Mark
obvious.
McMillan. Give
Would
me
you
Mark
take
McMillan.
what's his face with the 49ers? That's with the 49ers now.
Ward,
Yeah,
who was just on our team 2 years ago,
Would you take Ward in his
over everyone else in this
over
history.
McDuffie and
No, I'm good. I'm good.
I'll take.
Wow.
Hey, I want
The
to.
question is about the history of the team. Duron Cherry could be out there, but in the prime, Eric Berry wouldn't be too bad either because the guy can make some plays here and there.
I want to establish the running game. I'm going with Christian Okoye. I think we've thrown out like 1,000 names by now.
Well, you guys heard
Probably
mine
good
because I wanted all
Revis.
well-rounded player.
Nick Lowry. I'll take
I
Nick
would-
Lowry.
Oh no, we could go Ty
Nick
Law.
Lowry.
I'm about to say Ty Law.
We could go Ty Law in
I
his
like the
prime.
Ty Law
man.
pick.
No, who was in their prime while they were a Chief?
Yeah,
That's my point of
while
bringing
being
this
the
in.
Chief.
So
Nick Lowry used to make his extra points at least.
Nick Lowry, Harrison Butker
Yeah.
combo. Get that 40+ yards for Butker, and within the 40,
Right.
Got Lowry.
Yeah, Nick Lowry.
we
would do the
could go
extra
way back.
points.
We got Johnny Robinson. You go way back in the 60s
Oh,
right
we
there for
could.
you.
I can't
He-
go back that far.
I think
dude.
he leads the team all time in interceptions. So I mean that'd be great to get some turnovers. Out maybe.
Carlos Carson.
Yeah, I don't really know what he would do with his team at this point. Carlos Carson. I don't really know that he would help a lot because the athletes on this roster are probably better than he was. So.
He would help out if somebody had a sprained dick.
I don't know what that means.
Well, what about left tackle?
Yeah, Willie Roaf. I think that was a great
Roaf would
great
be your
idea
guy?
because of the situation with Mahomes. They would give Mahomes more time, and because Willie Roaf is my favorite left tackle of all time.
Okay.
The guy was amazing, incredible. I mean, Trent Green was a statue back there. And yeah, he had all day to get rid of that damn ball.
I don't know. I'd probably go with Tony Gonzalez and just put the 2 tight end set out there.
I mean, that
That'd
would
be
be
the
a
best thing
sick
you
combo
could
for
fucking
Mahomes to have. To have a Tony G in his prime and a Travis Kelce the way he is right now in his prime, like that would be a pretty sick combo. Like, who would you cover? You couldn't.
Well, you'd cover the lesser, which is Tony Gonzalez.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm very sure.
No, they have to stop Jerick McKinnon before they do that shit. Got to stop.
Whatever.
Jerick
My pick
McKinnon.
was Justin Houston in his prime. So
I'm going.
give me
DJ.
that. What year would that have been for Houston? 2014.
Okay.
15.
What about the guy you drooled all over, Eric Berry?
Yeah, Eric Berry in
Would
his
you
prime would
bring
be
him
great
in
too.
over Justin Reed and
Well, I
Cook
mean,
and all those guys?
in the past we've used a lot of 3 safety sets. So
Okay.
I would take Eric Berry mixed in there with Reed and Thornhill because Thornhill's not had a bad year by any means, but
We all made 10 picks. That was a great
Carlos
segment.
is really
guys.
surprised nobody picked Joe Montana.
We all made 10 fucking picks. That was great.
no Joe Montana, who is the 4th best quarterback in Chiefs history. So
Congratulations.
on that.
That entire segment was a complete disaster. Well done, guys.
I made my
Let's
pick
move
like a
on.
normal person. So I don't know what the hell you guys are talking
You started
about.
it
So,
with your Andre Rison.
I didn't start anything, dude.
well, okay.
He was a big baller back in the day. You can't deny that.
Should we make our actual official pick for this game?
Yeah.
So
Sure.
we'll do this. We'll talk Eagles and 49ers coming up in a second then. So Tanner, start us off.
Oh, of course you would start with me.
Well, you're the one running the
All right.
screen.
All right. So do we want to do the bets or just to pick them?
Just pick them for now because we have easy money bets coming up after the selections of the games.
All right. Going Chiefs. And I'm going if Chiefs are going to win this, they're going to put them away. So I'm going to go 35-27. That's pretty
Okay.
much a put them away game.
All right. I don't mind it. That's fair. What do you got, JG?
Well, you guys know how I roll, and I'm not going to let you down on this one. So I'm sort of the anti-hero. Shout out Taylor Swift. I'm going to go with the Bengals in this game because They're on fire right now, dude. And I don't really give a shit how cocky they are, man. They've got what it takes to back it up. So I'm going to take the Bengals. Let's do 31-28. Because I have no other choice. You guys would kill me if I picked the Chiefs. You would fucking murder my ass.
Yes.
So I am going with the Bengals.
So you're going with another 3-point victory for the Bengals.
Another 3-point.
You're saying not only 4 wins in a row, but 4 3-point victories in a row.
You guys know the kicker McPherson. The kicker McPherson is too damn good. You know, Burrow's too damn good. Second best quarterback in the league. He's trying to become the best quarterback in the league, right? Because he's got to be pissed off, right? So, you know, I don't care about the offensive lineman of the Bengals. That he's going to let go of the ball, get rid of it quick. And like I said, he's been there and done that. You know, he's won a game in Burrowhead before, so let him do it again. It's not that difficult. So I'm going with the Bengals by 3, and you guys can thank me later.
All right. Well, I like hearing you guys' opinions on that. The over-under right now, I think, is sitting at 47, I believe, is what I last saw, which seems really low to me. But anyways.
46.5.
Whoa, that is
47 and 46.
That's
starting
crazy.
to go down to 46.5.
Well, okay. Here's my thing, guys. I told you a few minutes ago how confident I feel right now based on what we've seen today and based on reports from Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes and, you know, letting us know the whole team is basically 98% healthy. Is just huge news to me because that is not something we've had against the Bengals this previous time and back in week 13. And so to me, I'm looking at the situation and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling confident in the fact that, you know, the Chiefs are sitting back, letting the Bengals do all their smack talk, letting them, you know, get all hyped up, watching Eli Apple do his stupid ass dance he was doing on the sidelines over there while Mike Hilton was talking his trash. And, you know, I can't wait for this to happen. I can't wait for this to unfold because the Chiefs are going to win the turnover battle this time. The Chiefs are going to take care of the ball. We're not going to have some idiot back there muffing the punts.
Nope.
This time. Chiefs have learned their lessons. The Chiefs have learned more in their losses than any other team has this year. They've figured out ways what's going to work and what's not going to work. They figured out the fact that Mike Dana knows how to rush from the inside. Whenever Turk Wharton was out for the year, they go, how do we fix this damn problem? Boom, right away. Dana was immediately part of that inside pass rush. You know, things like that, small things like that are the team learning about itself as the season goes on. And if there's one thing this team does is it self-analyzes and it self-reflects as the year goes on. And that's one of the best traits Andy Reid has as a head coach. And so with that said, I feel great about this situation. I feel great about learning from the mistakes. And I feel great about the fact that Chiefs are going to win this thing by 10 points or more is what I'm going to say right now. They're going to take care of business, and Andy has something to prove. And we all know how, you know, weak Andy Reid is. We know when I say weak, I mean soft in regards to wanting to really put opponents out, really getting that lead and freaking choking them to death. Well, he's got all the reasons in the world right now to make that a reality, to fix that. And you're going to see the rage of Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. You're going to see Petty LaVon out there throwing that ball. And so that's why I say the Chiefs take care of business in this. And I'm saying this, yes, there's some bias in my heart, but I'm saying this also with conviction of this is what I truly believe because of all the factors I've taken into account here.
Well, 21-3 is a good enough reason to not take your foot off the gas. That's all I have to say. Right. But Tanner, quick question for you. If Mahomes goes out midway through the first quarter and Chad Henne plays the rest of the game, you think Chiefs have a chance?
I think Bengals finish them off.
Yeah.
If that's the case. If it's that early in the game,
Chad Henne looked pretty good. Chad Henne looked pretty good in that
It's Henne with the starters, but you can only do so much. Like if it was give me half, I'd say the Chiefs stand a chance. But if we're going out in the first quarter, it ain't a good sign. Not a good sign.
I'm not concerned about the ankle injury to Patrick Mahomes.
I'm not.
I want to say that one more time.
I'm just throwing out hypotheticals.
No. Real quick here, I got a few more comments here. Jason, you call that a disaster? You just spent 5 minutes on dick sprains.
That's an accomplishment, dude. That's not a disaster. Like, Like that was one of the
Oh,
greatest accomplishments ever
It was a good topic
on the
actually.
show. I mean,
Ryzen
it great.
was a baller in Atlanta. He was.
And we haven't even made it to the buffoon topic yet.
Yeah.
That's the wonderful thing. You guys get a bonus buffoon topic on this show because we haven't made it there yet.
We got to cover Eagles first.
That whole thing happened organically, so
So-
I hope you appreciate that
so
and shove it up your ass.
Tufel doesn't know the whole behind the scenes things, but he has take that shirt away from him and the liquor because he's clearly intoxicated.
Well,
He might be.
I don't know what you're up to or what you're trying to do, but do your thing. That's all I can say about it.
Carlos says 27-24 Chiefs let Bengals come back. So like Bengals for him.
I just thought that
Where's my boo this man, Chip?
Chad Henne did a great job in that fucking game. That's all I'm throwing out
He
there.
did good enough.
Oh, short in the
He did a good
fourth.
job.
Chiefs had the ton of young guys with that little experience, but they got enough vets to be able to counteract that. I'm not too worried about the youth that we brought in. The Bengals know how important this time is. Well, so do the Chiefs. Saunders has stepped up too, big time.
Oh yeah.
Colin Saunders is the man. Can Kelsey carry the Chiefs in third down situations? Well, he has already.
I mean,
Why
what do you
can't he?
What do you mean can he? He's done it like his
That's
whole
all
career.
he's done.
I mean, he's pretty good at it.
The playoff average for Kelsey is 8 catches for 101 touchdown. That's
Yeah.
his average.
That's the average. Yeah.
and
that's
that how
101
sick,
yards and a touchdown. Is that what you said?
that's his playoff average for his
Yeah.
career. You know how fucking sick that is?
Oh,
That's
I mean,
fucking ridiculous.
He's on pace to beat Jerry Rice for
Yeah.
playoff numbers.
yeah, he's not fighting with tight end records
No,
anymore.
no,
It's
it's
just
He's
only
fighting
wide
with
receivers.
the best receiver
The
of
GOAT!
all time.
The GOAT!
Tufel says, bring us the Kelsey Bowl. It's what the world needs and wants. And then Carlos says, Mahomes is not getting it done. This is going to be a long game. I ain't worried about Mahomes, Carlos. I ain't worried about it.
like I told you guys, I've said it a bunch of times, but we'll be fine. Mahomes is fine, and there's not a lot to worry about. Yes, will he be less mobile? Probably less mobile, but I will take a 90% Mahomes over anything else and be happy with that. And maybe he can't scramble as much as normal, but we will find ways to work around that if needed. So
I mean, I feel
not worried about it.
If he is less mobile, it's by choice, and he's going to work around the game plan. I feel like the game plan is going to try to make him less mobile. But if he needs to be more mobile, like I feel like he's able to make it.
You can implement preservation in the game plan too, where you create plays that preserve him having to scramble around more. We get to that third and fourth quarter of the game, then all bets are off. At that point, he'll be sawing off that ankle to be hobbling if he needs to, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, so it doesn't really matter. Like, it's at the end of the day, these guys know that after this game they have 2 weeks off, and so for them it's all or nothing. And those 2 weeks, you can heal up.
Those will be huge.
You can heal up after those 2 weeks.
Those will be
So
huge
for now, for
Mahomes.
this one moment, make your plays.
You're getting a hard on for those 2 weeks, aren't you?
What do you mean those 2 weeks?
You're getting a hard on for
2 weeks
having
of
2
no
weeks
football.
off
You think I'm getting a hard on for that?
No, for Mahomes to heal up to be 100%.
Well, he's already fine, but he will be 100% by the time the Super Bowl rolls around. So, guys, all right, we've spent a lot of time on this game, and I think you all know how we feel about it. Let's dive in for a few minutes here about the Eagles and 49ers.
Oh shit, there's another game happening.
Yes,
Maybe.
believe it or not, we're not the
Didn't
only
even-
teams in the. This is not the Super Bowl.
Didn't
We
even
have to
realize
wait.
that shit.
We have to wait. We have to.
Well,
keep
to
it
be
going.
fair, they are the 2 best teams in the NFL, so it should be the Super Bowl.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that statement you just said.
Mm.
Because I believe that there's a team playing in the NFC Championship that is the second best team in the NFL.
Brock Purdy.
Well,
Brock
and that's
Purdy.
probably how you feel about it. But guys, so I mean, going into this game, obviously, I mean, we got Jason Kelsey on one side. We got the Kelsey Bowl potentially going to happen in unfold.
Kelsey Bowl.
We'll see about that. But are we surprised at this point about the outcome of seeing Brock Purdy to this point against the NFC's
No.
best team all season long?
I still state Jimmy G, if he's a starter the entire way, like if he doesn't get hurt, you don't see 49ers in the situation at all.
The Jimmy G is like Brock Purdy light, dude. All he does is win.
You don't
Well,
see them in
He
this
started out
situation.
his career. He started out his career the
don't
same
see-
way Brock
You
Purdy.
don't see them in this situation.
He was like 7-0 or 9-0, whatever the hell those guys are. They start out winning.
That's all I want to
I
say.
agree with Tanner on this because Jimmy G is not as talented with the arm as Purdy is.
Did he not start out his career like 7-0, just like Brock Purdy? They start
Sure,
out the exact same way.
I know.
I don't
I
care.
know.
Because they had great coaches.
What does he
Yes.
look like?
Jimmy G had Bill Belichick and then Kyle Shanahan. Brock Purdy has Kyle Shanahan.
You know
Like, it
how
has
I
a
feel
little bit to do
about
with it.
Kyle Shanahan, the 49ers system. You guys know I love that shit. You guys know I
Yes.
think that it's badass. You guys know I think you plug in just about anybody and they're going to have success. That's why I want Tom Brady to go there next year, but it's not going to happen, I don't
No.
think, at this point.
No.
But so with that said, I mean, yeah, I agree with what Tanner said, though, about Garoppolo would have made more mistakes than what Brock Purdy's done because Purdy is actually playing mistake-free football as well as making plays when they're needed. And that's something that's pretty awesome to see for a 7th-round rookie to watch that unfold. But, I mean, I am shocked. No one going into this year was going to go, oh, yeah, let's have Brock Purdy lead the team to a postseason run. You know, this isn't like the Colin Kaepernick run where all of a sudden everyone was caught off guard by his style of play, it felt like. And, you know, next thing you know, they're in the Super Bowl. Like, it's not that same situation. This guy's just playing really efficiently. And he's playing extremely maturely. And if you see his post-game interviews, even his whole demeanor is extremely mature for, you know, where he came from and his age, of course.
He's a superstar. He's going to be a superstar.
I mean, at this point, it seems like he's going to be pretty good. I'll give you that much. But I also don't want to take away from the fact that the Eagles are talented as hell.
They are.
And I love
and they're healthy.
the way A.J. Brown
most
played this
part.
year. A.J. Brown, you know, the Titans let him go in a trade. A.J. Brown's like, hey, good. Now I have a great quarterback to toss me the ball. And Jalen Hurts has put up amazing numbers when he's been healthy on the ground and in the air. Efficient numbers, too. Something that surprised me in the beginning of the season, especially for fantasy's sake. You know, I was caught off guard by that. But Devontae Smith, of course, has had a solid year or two now in that system. Even Miles Sanders has finally found a way to become an effective running back in this league and was putting up solid touchdown numbers for a good portion of the season. So going into this game now, I mean, you got a great offense with the Eagles versus the number 1 defense in the league, right? With the 49ers. And I think they've allowed 16.8 or 9 points per game, something like that.
You want the points per game? 16.3 49ers.
Even better.
Best in the league.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, you got exactly what you want from the NFC side of things. So what are you guys' thoughts? I mean, is this going to be a game where Purdy can overcome the obstacles? Because when's the last time a rookie quarterback went to the Super Bowl?
When was the last time?
I'm seriously asking because I don't know that it's ever happened.
I'm pretty
At least
sure
off the top of my head, it's never happened.
Pretty sure it's never. Tanner's going to look that up real quick. But the way I see this game right now is like you got 2 top 5 defenses. And to me, the defense is a wash. Kyle Shanahan, I believe, has more experience as a coach. And so I trust Kyle Shanahan a little bit more than I trust Nick Sirianni. I've got a little bit of a problem in terms of Nick Sirianni coming out and saying that Jalen Hurts is Michael Jordan on the field. Okay, so I'm a big-time NBA fan. And when you come out and say that a player in any sport is Michael Jordan, you got a big fucking problem, dude. And if you're going to write that fucking check, you better be able to cash it. And Nick Sirianni's been talking a lot of shit over the course of this year. And I'm going to take the Niners in this game. Now, a part of this is like I picked the Niners to make it to the Super Bowl in the preseason. I thought it was going to be Niners versus Chiefs. So I'm not going to come off of the Niners in this situation here. I do believe in Kyle Shanahan. I don't feel the need to believe in Brock Purdy necessarily. I just think that Kyle Shanahan is a little bit more seasoned coach in this situation. So I will go with the Niners here, but I have a huge problem with his coach, Jalen Hurts' coach, come out and say, oh, this guy's fucking Jordan. Well, you know, we've never even had a comp in the NBA, dude, let alone the NFL. So I feel like he's written a check that he's not going to be able to cash in this game.
Yeah, it's big words. I totally agree with you on as far as the Jordan comparison. But at the same time, and there's been other GMs in the past have compared Deshaun Watson to Michael Jordan. There was a time period where the Clemson head coach said if you pass on Deshaun Watson, you're basically passing on Michael Jordan.
And exactly. And where is Deshaun Watson right now? Did he accomplish anything? He accomplished a lot actually in a hidden room in a nondescript building. he did probably accomplish a lot, but not on the fucking football field.
Sure. And then there might have been some dick sprains involved in that too. Who knows? I mean, we'll never know. We'll have to ask him one day. But so, I mean, just talking about, so you obviously picked the 49ers, as you just said, right?
I'm going to go with the Niners in this game.
You got the Niners to beat the Eagles in this situation. So, Tanner, do you feel the same way? Because I think that you're a big A.J. Brown fan. You think he's a guy that can take over games at times.
I obviously didn't select him in fantasy. did I?
Dallas Goedert's also a big part of that team, right? He's a great tight end.
Big tight end.
I just think I feel like the fact that this team is essentially top 5 in both offense and defense is what's going to propel them forward into this game and get them to victory. And I think the Niners at this point, I just feel like you're going to run into trouble at some point if you're Brock Purdy. And he's done a phenomenal job of taking care of the ball and everything. And they have some supreme players on the offensive side of the ball too, just like the Eagles. I'm a big fan of Brandon Ayuk, and Deebo Samuel's had a great career so far with the Niners. George Kittle has his games where he comes into his own. All the talent around you to succeed if you're a young rookie quarterback like Purdy.
Yeah.
I can't help but feel the fact that I think that the Eagles are, at the end of the day, the more well-rounded team. And I don't know why I feel that way. And I wish I could be more detailed for you guys, but I have been envisioning the Kelsey Bowl from day one of this entire season.
You're obsessed with the Kelsey
and
Bowl.
The Kelsey Bowl makes sense to me. And that's why I believe the Eagles get a win here.
I'll get into that in a minute here. By the way, your Super Bowl question of the rookie quarterbacks?
Never.
Okay. There's been 5 that have been close. Roethlisberger in 2004, Joe Flacco in 2008, Mark Sanchez in 2009.
He was close, right? Twice.
And then Dieter Brock back in 1985.
Hold on. Who was that last one?
Dieter Brock.
Where's that at?
Los Angeles Rams.
Oh, you're reading off a list?
I'm reading off a list.
I was reading the comments. I don't see it on there.
I'm not reading off the comments.
So we see this in sports a lot. When you say something has never happened,
Pat Hayden
we automatically come to the assumption that it never will. And that's the exact moment that it usually happens. So it's not a big deal to me. Like if Brock Purdy makes it to the Super Bowl, that's not a big deal. I mean, he had a great coach, great fucking roster. It's not a big accomplishment for me. Yeah, it's the first time in history, but I'm not going to be shocked if it happens.
He's got the ideal team around him. If you're a young quarterback like Purdy, you have the perfect situation for that to happen. So I will at least say that the platform's laid out for him and right in front of him, that you can succeed with all this around you, with having the best defense mixed with all these playmakers on offense. It's like, it's gonna be hard to fail. This is better than what Mark Sanchez had back in 2009. So just kind of throw that out there, I guess.
I think where you're coming from, Mike, the reason you kind of feel confident is just because of the way the Eagles do compare against this team. Offensively, they lead in points per game by 3 spots. They're up by 2 games, total yards per game. And then if you look on the defensive side, the Eagles are number 2 in total yards against per game, along with the first overall passing yards against per game. So they're a very tough team still on defense. This is a very defensive game coming into
That's what I say. I think the Eagles are the more complete team if you look at both offense, defense, everything combined. But it's close, guys. This is not an easy pick.
Look, this is by far a really hard pick, just for the fact that San Francisco has all these other guys around Purdy that's been able to do successfully. Keep him in mind. At the same time, the Eagles have struggled against games they shouldn't have, even with Jalen Hurts healthy. The Arizona game, the Chicago game, late in the season, Jalen Hurts, he's coming out the shoulder. He says he's fine and everything like that. But, he looked really good against that Giants team. That's the only thing that's keeping me from picking San Francisco here. It's just the way they looked against a pretty good Giants defense.
I think the one factor we might run into comparing the two teams, I do feel like the 49ers are more physical than the Eagles. And when it comes down to that third and fourth quarter situational football, that's where you could see the Niners start to pull away if it goes that route. We've obviously seen Christian McCaffrey have a huge impact. He's in a perfect situation now being with the 49ers. And they've lost one game since they played the Chiefs, which the Chiefs put up 43 points in that game, 44 points, whatever, in that game. McCaffrey did play in that game, but it was before he was fully integrated
Correct.
into the offense.
Correct.
And so ever since then, I think they've lost one game since that Chiefs game.
Correct.
At some point, I
Wait,
can't remember
no,
if they
no.
lost any games.
The Chiefs game was the one game.
Was their last game?
Yes. So looking at the schedule here, the last loss they had an Atlanta loss, and then they had the KC loss. And then since then, it's been a cakewalk, just beating teams. Like there's no games that are necessary. Las Vegas was a close game for whatever reason, just one of those freak games. Outside of that, there's no close games for this San Francisco team. And if you look too at their stats here, I'll pull it back up here. The three spots that's dramatically different between these two teams is going to be your passing yards against per game, which the Eagles lead first, San Francisco's 20th. The rushing yards against per game, San Francisco's second. The Eagles are 16th. And then your time of possession per game. Third best is the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, the 11th best is your Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, my whole thing here is like, where's the damn upsets? Like every year in the playoffs, you got some huge upsets in the NFL playoffs, and right now you're looking at Chiefs or Cincinnati's -1. So the Chiefs are a dog right now. That line is moving all over the fucking place. It's going back and forth. Cincinnati's -1, and then Philadelphia's -2.5. At some point this year, we need to see some upsets. And
you're now calling for, what is it, the 4 seed versus the 3 seed? Am I gathering that right?
I think so.
But that's how weird it is. That's how weird this year has been, where the higher seeds all of a sudden, in terms of the Chiefs, have become the dog. And it's like, at what point do you start seeing upsets? You know, I expected to see an upset, at least up until now in the playoffs. Like,
well, part of the problem, Jason, was the Dolphins had Skylar Thompson playing, and the Ravens had Anthony Brown and whatever else playing over there. There would have been an upset in that round.
That's
if not for those quarterbacks.
But again, at some point it happens. You're not going to go through the entire year where all of the favorites win all the way to the fucking championship. It happens.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen like all the time. Like, certainly didn't happen last year.
I'm just saying it happens all the time, though. It does happen. It doesn't mean it needs to not happen, I would say.
I feel like San Francisco, if I want to bet on a dog, like San Francisco I would bet on that damn dog, because they should be the favorite.
You guys will like my easy money pick because it is a parlay, but I'll tell you guys about that here in a few minutes.
It's happened 5 times since 2009. Where both 1 seeds play.
Right, so that's what I mean. It happens all the time.
Yeah,
you get 2 1 seeds playing.
So my official pick,
since
guys,
2009. I mean, that's been fucking 14 years,
dude.
My
my official pick here is I'm going with the team that's been the most consistent through the end of the season. Who's the healthiest? Who's the top defense here? I'm going San Francisco to win this game. It ain't gonna be pretty.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna be rooting for the Philly, but I really do think the 49ers prevail and win this game. Just for the fact that Philadelphia has played in, I think it's 5 one-score games within the last 8 weeks of the NFL season, versus San Francisco has played in 2. So I'm going San Francisco to win this game.
For the upset. So you went for 2 upsets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, technically.
That's what I'm saying. We're due. Yeah. We're due for a couple of upsets.
2 upsets, huh? All right. I get you guys. All
right.
Are
behind, so
I know. I get it. I'm picked. Well, Kyle Shanahan's a great coach, in my opinion. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I got it.
Either way, like it's
Nick Sirianni would be interesting though. If you're Andy Reid, if it comes down to the Chiefs and Eagles, you're facing not only your old team but also your former coach too. Once again, this already they faced Doug Peterson with Jacksonville. So. Yeah, I mean, we'll see how things play out.
It's going to be. I really do think that this Eagles 49ers game is going to be a blast to watch.
Yeah, stay tuned for my parlay. You guys will like this one. It's really good this time. And you guys have known I've done great on my easy money picks all year long.
All right, let me catch up here on comments here because we went at it. So two full outs. The Eagles are impressive, talent everywhere, cohesion, great team. I think they handled Kittle's dickhead-shaped helmet and the rest of the 49ers easily.
It is kind of dickhead-shaped.
That's awesome. Carlos says, Purdy looks good, but the San Francisco defensive side is what carries the team. I'm way on the other side of the Shanahan system.
So the Facebook
Carlos.
user,
You
Carlo-
hate that
so
Shanahan
Carlos
system.
doesn't like Shanahan's.
He hates
system.
Shanahan's system.
That's weird. I don't know. I don't know anyone who doesn't like Shanahan's system.
Meet Carlos.
Is that the same guy that doesn't like dick-headed helmets, or is that
No,
a
That's a different one.
That's a different I'm sure McVay is upset that playbook didn't work out. Eagles average 30 plus in offense. I could actually tell you, I still got it up here. Their average 28.1, third best in the league for that. No rookies, QB. Thank you to a full. Sorry, I didn't look at the comments there. Carlos wants to know who's Michael Jordan. And don't tell him, Jason.
Never
Don't
heard
tell
of him. Never heard of him.
Sirianni is hoping players step up and have Pippen, Grant, and Paxton with them too. And then Watson and Kraft just like to keep it loose and have their massages. Oh, Michael Jordan's that guy that sells knockoff shoes at the flea market.
Never heard of him. Never heard of him.
That's great.
Well, Tanner, Jason and I were talking a little bit ago, and we had a question for you, actually.
Oh, yeah?
But we want to talk about what's your statute of limitations when regarding dining atmospheres.
Well, we had a little bit of an issue tonight, so we had to.
What are you talking about?
We were trying to pay our tab, right,
Yeah.
at a place I'm not going to talk about right now.
Yeah.
We're trying to pay our tab, and we had to wait about 10 to 15 minutes for the bartender to bring us our tab.
Which isn't anything crazy. I mean,
It's not
I've
crazy.
seen where it's experienced worse. We all have, right?
Oh, yeah.
We all like to work with them when they're having a rough night or what have you.
Right. So we're not complaining about that part.
So
But-
what's the?
Well, the question at that point began, we started talking about, like,
I'm sure you did.
at what
Like-
point, we thought about you specifically, Tanner, at what point do you decide to say, fuck the check, and you dash your ass out of there? You're not paying for how long do you have to wait for that check to come?
What's the statute of limitations, Tanner?
I don't know. I guess I never really thought about that. Maybe.
Like if let's say you're just sitting there, and you maybe get your kid and your wife, you're just like sitting there. Maybe 30, 40 minutes goes by.
I'd go
40?
I'd go maybe 35.
35.
Wow, I'm surprised.
So
by
at
that.
35 minutes.
But I'd also go.
But you would
reach out.
you'd reach out. So let's say you went and you told somebody.
Yeah.
You were waiting on your check, and they say we'll be right with you.
How many times?
And you go sit your ass back down. Then how much
No, it'd
longer do
be
you wait
one
after
time.
You
that?
tell them two
Maybe
times
one
or just
time.
She said
one?
one
Only
time.
one
Maybe
time.
one time.
Wow.
If
Okay.
I have to wait another.
Do you have a
20,
story? Do you have a story, Tanner? Or
No.
has that never popped up in your life?
Never had that really happen. Like the longest I've had to wait was 20.
To get a check.
Yeah, and that restaurant is no longer in business. So
Right.
Okay.
So you feel good about stealing from them?
no, I got my check, but it took 20 minutes. I did not pay or anything.
Now I do have Can I tell this story, Jason, about you real quick?
Sure.
There's one time you and I were at a fine dining atmosphere, and someone brought a beer to put on the rubber mat at the bar, and the beer was sitting there on the rubber mat.
Oh.
And I don't know if you remember this.
Oh, I do remember that.
It was
I do
sitting on that rubber mat for a while, probably 15 minutes. That beer was about to get warm, and it was a tall boy. It was probably
It was a
probably a
big
25.
one.
It was probably
Yes.
a 25 ouncer.
Never let a good beer go to waste.
And
That's my.
We
thought.
sat there together watching this beer sit there. The waiter never came by to take it. It sat there on that rubber mat, and
It's warm. It's
what
ruined.
you did. Everyone you did the right thing.
I took one for the team, and I went over there and I grabbed that beer lightning quick.
Oh, yeah.
dude.
That was
Nobody
quick,
ever
dude,
fucking
too.
saw me.
Because you came
I
back with it, we're
chugged
like,
that
how
shit.
did you get that?
I chugged that shit like you wouldn't fucking believe, man. And it was free. I got it for free, but I didn't want it to go to waste.
So basically, JG slammed that damn beer, took care of business, put it back on the rubber mat. Next thing you know, it was somebody else's beer, I guess, that I got drank already.
That's some good stuff.
But that was a great experience, a great moment, and kind of the reverse of what we were talking about, I guess. But I'm surprised Tanner said what he said about
I
35
am surprised because I feel like the statute of limitations should be about 45 minutes, which is, speaking of statutes of limitations, this happened a long time ago. If you guys remember, TGI Fridays used to be in Kansas City. And my friend and I sat there and waited for 45 minutes, and we asked them to bring us the tab, and they never did it. And so we got the fuck out of there. We got the fuck out of there. And so I was kind of surprised. I thought you, Tanner, would wait longer than 35 minutes.
No.
Whereas I waited 45 minutes because I'm a good citizen.
Like,
I don't want
I'll be
anybody to lose
patient,
their jobs.
But if if I have to ask and I still have to wait another like 25, 30 on top of that, like that's
So
your loss.
you're saying 35 is the statute of limitations
Yeah.
before you can just fucking walk out and get the
Yeah.
hell out of there.
Like especially if I say
What do you think about that, Mike? Is it 35, 45, somewhere in between, or is it less than that?
Depends on how much beer I have left in my glass. Like, let's say I was wanting to pay, but I still had a full beer. Then at least I can buy myself some
then
time.
you're buying time.
Then I'm
right?
buying myself time, and like, let's see if some more time goes by after my beer's. If my beer's been empty for 40 minutes, then it's game over. I mean,
That's
I
your
guess they
fault.
want me to have a free meal. So I mean, that's the way I think about it. So that's the way
Yeah.
I'd go. But I have on accident not paid my tab at a bar. So I've done that once or twice.
The bottom line is if you tell the
On
fucker,
accident.
that you want your tab and they make you wait 35 minutes after that, just leave. Like that's bullshit.
Yeah. Well, hey, the good news is I did at least come back and pay my bar tab though.
You did come back.
Well, I paid it out. Yeah. I paid I came back and paid it after I realized I didn't pay it. So I did at least.
That was very noble of you.
Good guy, Mike.
I know. Well, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Because also, if you're wanting to go back to that bar, then you probably got to pay.
Yeah, you probably want to
pay your IOU.
We got Scott here.
Unless
What's
you
up, Scott?
unless you wear a mask, then they didn't recognize you. That's hey.
Well, that was for 2020 to figure out. Okay.
That you should wear a mask, and then they're not going to know who you are.
Tufel, sorry, here I'm off here. Tufel says if you travel to Europe, they won't bring the check until you ask for it. So a little bit of info to pocket away. Thanks, Tufel.
Is he trying to tell us? Wait a minute.
Dude, that's just what the fuck I said.
had
I
no
said
idea.
I told them I wanted the check, and then they didn't bring it.
Yeah,
That's
right.
He's just saying like
He's saying
in
they
Europe,
won't-
they won't.
Which
bring
actually I like that style because I prefer for me to tell them I'm ready for the check,
when they're
not to
ready.
them to assume I'm ready to leave because that
Yeah,
sometimes pisses me
I
off.
totally agree with that.
Scott Coe says Joey Burrow's coming to town. Who's your daddy? As Nick Botkins says.
Oh, Joe Burrow is my daddy, man.
We're all
You
for it.
know?
Carlos says, in NYC, you just go to the bathroom and dip because that check is coming quick. He also says, never done it, but it's amazing how fast these guys turn tables.
Well, they're
in
probably
NYC.
used to people like that that'll just
Oh,
dine
yeah,
out there and
NYC.
dip out of there.
Scott also says the Kansas City Police Department is on the phone looking for that TGI Friday money. So just send them over to the buffet.
Well, they're not looking for me.
TJI Fridays money.
They're not looking for me because I just witnessed a dine and dash. Or no, Mike,
Oh.
he witnessed a dine and dash the other night, and they weren't coming after me.
I did one time. Tanner and I we were watching Andrew Luck in a bowl game.
Yeah,
At-
Chili's.
We were at some bar.
it was Chili's.
I thought it was like 54th Street Grill. or
No,
something.
it was Chili's.
Oh, maybe it was Chili's. We were at this bar, and it was like me, Tanner, and one other random dude ordering Grey Goose all freaking night, just getting wasted. And he was sitting there by himself. We're trying to enjoy this wonderful Stanford versus whoever game with Andrew Luck playing. And then next thing you know, the guy sitting there points in the back room. He goes, "Oh, can you go get paid, bro?" And then the guy, the bartender walks in the back, and then Mr. Grey Goose just starts darting out the door. You see his arms just
Shit.
pumping,
That's
Yeah, he
amazing.
left
and he
so
is just
quick.
out there. He probably racked up $60-$70 worth
Has to,
of
has
stuff.
to.
Well, I got to tell the commenter they're not looking for my ass 10 years later because TGI Fridays. I'm giving you my age right now. TGI Fridays hadn't been in Kansas City in 10 fucking years.
It's
at
been a long
least,
time.
So
Hey, I used to go there.
No, it's longer than that.
statute of limitations is 7 years. I'm sorry. They're not trying to throw my dick in prison right now, but nice try. Thank you for playing, sir.
There's other stuff for that, right? Tufel says in that instance, if I ask for it, you got 5 minutes. I will remind you. If you don't, the third time is a warning of me walking in 5. 5 minutes. It's his statute of limitations. Tufel does. And then he says you can't forget them Southwest egg rolls and guacamole.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Bring
I don't
it
even
on.
like that at Chili's, man. Give me that.
Fuck
quesad-
Chili's.
give
We're
me the
talking about
quesadilla.
TGI Fridays.
Oh, I
don't know which
I
place
don't
they're going
remember
now.
anything for TGI Fridays.
It was the same
I don't
shit. Southwest egg
Oh,
rolls.
well, I never had that.
Same shit.
I don't know. I'm glad we got that figured out.
Moving right
we were
along.
surprised though. We thought you were talking earlier. We thought Tanner would say 2 hours.
I
we
thought
thought
Tanner
you would
would
sit
sit
there
there
and
for
move in.
5 fucking hours.
We thought you would move in
because he's
restaurant.
scared. You'd be scared that you're going to prison if you walk away from there.
I got limitations too, guys. I'm not
Really?
just the patient.
Yeah.
Nice
Wow,
guy.
that's amazing. It surprises me. It really
It's
does.
just like I almost
So-
did the show today without you. I mean, what?
No,
Yeah.
we would have walked in with the show and just jumped on the table and started going at it. So don't worry. We'd have picked it up right up wherever you were at. So don't worry about that. Speaking of, we got one more thing to get to, you guys. Obviously, we have our easy money bet of the week to get to. Tanner, I don't remember what our picks were last week, to be
I don't
quite
know.
honest. Did you have that written?
I didn't write
You
it down.
didn't mark down the
I
easy
didn't- I
money.
didn't get
The
to
hell
it.
is wrong
I'm gonna
with you?
assume I'm 17-5 now.
You're like 17 and 16 now.
Now,
Tim?
No, you are.
I'm-
wait,
I've
I've
wait,
only,
wait.
Oh, bullshit. I've only gotten like 5 games wrong all
Hey.
year.
All
You're not keeping track of my shit yet. You're the professional sports bettor at the table.
He has a notebook full of this shit.
don't worry. Guess what? At the bye week,
Who's the professional around here?
I will
He's got
have
a whiteboard that
I
used
will
to have
have
all
the
the bets.
playoff summary for the bye week. Okay,
Tanner,
before the Super Bowl.
you're supposed to be keeping track of it. You had a notebook and now you give up right now in the playoffs?
I didn't keep track of the wild card week, so I figured I'd just wait till the bye week.
All right, you guys
Wow,
go
this is-
first.
This is awful. He's walking off the stage. He's pissed. Just be keeping track of this shit.
You're supposed to be a professional.
All right. Well, let's. I'm gonna go ahead and assume my pick last week was right, which will put me at 17-5 or whatever for the season.
Sure.
Maybe 17-6, something like that. So he goes, yeah. What Maury Povich? Here we are.
What is this, Maury?
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and say mine, and then I'm gonna let you go. And then whenever JG's done pouting, he can come back to his chair and then sip on his buzz ball and enjoy himself. So guys, like I said, mine is a parlay. This is not something I've done at all this entire year, but it's an alternate spread parlay. You're gonna do both games. You're gonna take the Chiefs.
Walked off and didn't ask for a check.
Just now?
Yeah, Carlos.
Yeah.
Carlos says Jason.
I don't know that we're encouraging that.
No,
but-
Jason just said Carlos walked off, or Jason walked off without.
Oh, we're gonna
Like that.
charge him for this one if he doesn't get back over here. So-
All right. So what's your parlay?
All right, guys. We're taking both games, obviously, in this one. So right here, we're going alternate spreads on both. I like the Chiefs to be +4 on this game. So take
Okay.
your Chiefs +4, which is going to put you around like minus 170 or 180 something right now. And then after that, you're going to take your 49ers, and you're going to take them at +9.5 or 9, your preference. I'll let you guys pick on that. When you guys put these two as a parlay, you're taking Chiefs +4, Niners +9 to 9.5. You will get even money on that bet. And as you guys know, all year long, I've been encouraging even money bets. That's what I've been basing my picks off of. That's why I'm 17-5 or whatever I'm at now. I love this pick. I love the fact that you got the Chiefs to cover the +4 because the last 3 games against the Bengals have all been decided within 3 points. And I love the fact we sat here, you both enjoyed the 49ers potentially winning this game. Take them at +9. Look, this is too good for me. This is too easy, too good. I love this parlay, so nail it. Get
So
that even money.
You can get
Put down 500, you're gonna win 500.
so on FanDuel, you can get +3.5 at -184 or +4.5 at -210 for that. And then gotta go to the other game here. No, that's still the Chiefs Bengals. You said what was the 49ers one?
Get a +9 on the
A
four on the
+9?
on the 49ers. You got to combine that with the Chiefs at a +4. So
49ers.
these are both alternate spreads, but it'll put you at even money.
plus
at the end.
So a +8.5 is 560, +9.5 is -620.
Well, can you add those two together as a parlay?
You want me to just put it? Do you want to put 9.5 or 8.5?
Well, that's the point. Is the parlay
9.5 or 8.5?
9? Can you just do a 9?
I can't do a 9.
You cannot
There's
do an
no
even 9.
option for it even 9.
All right, I'm getting on DraftKings right now. You guys go ahead.
Could you have a little bit of professionalism over there?
This guy.
I mean, that's
over here.
ridiculous.
I
He's-
swear.
He doesn't know how to look. He's a professional sports bettor, but yeah, can't make the
Self-professed.
You
choices.
can't make an alternate spread with those
Self-
options.
Yes, you can,
Self-professed.
Tanner. I did it earlier.
Not on FanDuel.
Self-professed
I'm on
professional
DraftKings.
sports
I'm not on
bettor over here.
DraftKings. 'Cause you're
Goodness
killing me.
gracious.
You're a professional gambler in sports betting.
I'm gonna
Here it
add
is.
You're bringing this shit into my
Yeah,
show.
it is. It is. Yep. Chiefs +4, Niners +9.5. That'll get you at even odds. So straight across.
I got
Bet
a
500, you win 500.
I got a -3.5 and a +9.5, and that gets you a +178 for the parlay on FanDuel.
Yeah, if you want to go that route towards it, then by all means go for it. I'm telling you what's going to get you even money because I've been a fan of that all year. I'm not telling you guys to go bet this so you can triple, quadruple your money. I'm telling you even money all year long, and that's what's gotten us to this point.
What's your easy money bet?
Right now, I'm looking at that Niners-Eagles game. So
Fair.
you got the 2 top 5 defenses in the league. Over-under is 46. I don't know who's going to win these fucking games, guys, this week. Either one of them. So I'm going to go with the over-under there for that Niners-Eagles game. I'm going to go with 24-21, which would get you at 45 points. Over-under is 46 right now. It's a little bit too easy for me.
What was your pick?
Over-under.
Over under what game?
I'm going to take the under for the Niners-Eagles game.
I think Scott's confused.
Go with the, yeah. Sorry, Scott. When I get drunk, I speak a little bit too fast, faster than you'd think.
He did it.
But yeah, I'm going to go with the under. I think that game's going to end up 24-21 or less, which would put you on the under 46 on Niners-Eagles. So take the under there, buddy.
You got the under on that game. And it's kind of surprising too.
Big dick,
but I get
it's
it.
big dick fucking defenses, man.
Right.
Don't overthink it. Those are really, really good elite defenses. So especially if the referees decide to take over the fucking game, which they will, you could have a low scoring game in that instance.
Yeah, I get it. So Tanner, what do you got for us?
I'm going with Jason on that over under. I'm going to do the under 46.5 on that Philly 49ers game. I'm going to do a parlay though, because I'm going to go over the 46.5 on the Saints.
You fucking parlay
Chiefs game,
assholes,
baby.
Man. You never win any of those fucking parlays.
That's what I'm doing.
I just told you guys a parlay.
The under on the 49ers Philly, and then the over on the Cincy Chiefs.
Okay,
right.
Over 46 on the
Over
Cincy
46.
Chiefs. That's fair. I think the over on the
Sorry,
Chiefs.
over 46.5 is what it's at.
Right.
And then the under would be 46, 46.5 for Philly.
Where are you guys going to watch the fucking game? Are you going to the game or are you going to watch it at the bar? Or
I was going to go to Hy-Vee.
That's an interesting thought. I never even thought about going to Hy-Vee.
I'm not watching the game there. I'll put it that way.
Is that a thing? Should we all watch it in 3 different places to help the Chiefs win?
Well, that's what we do Super Bowl week.
Yeah,
Super Bowl seems to be that way in the past anyway, but I think I got somewhere a little more fun in mind.
Yeah.
So
what's it going to be? I don't even know what it is yet.
I want to know where most people probably are watching the game at home. It's Sunday night. Everyone's got to work on
it's
Monday.
A 5:20 game.
And I'm just like, man, I'm still going out because I want to celebrate with the town if things go right.
See, I don't really go out during the season, so like the playoffs.
Well, I don't go out during the off season, so I'm like, this is my fucking chance to go out on a Sunday again.
You want to spend
pretty soon I'm gonna have no opportunities for that.
You want to spend $500 to go sit in the 15-degree weather? That sounds like a great fucking night.
I mean, I've done similar things before, so
let's do it again, man.
Twofull
says,
the
money.
Twofull says my house is in my office. I have a 75-inch TV on the wall,
right,
5 feet away.
Right. I mean, if you got that going on, maybe invite a friend over or something.
Scott, we can't do that anymore. My house is banned from championship games for at least 20 years after the offsides. So.
Oh yeah, that is very true.
He's a Patriots fan too.
So he was happy about D Ford.
Yeah, he loved the D Ford.
He was happy about D Ford.
Here's the thing: do you guys just want to go to the fucking game? I know you motherfuckers have money.
I did see online.
You guys have a lot of money.
You can get a ticket right now for $250.
$270 somewhere in there.
Well, after taxes and all that shit.
No.
So.
But no, I'm talking about reasonable seats.
Like
look,
you want to put up $500?
I went to a few games this year. I still have a lot of shit to pay off. I'm not going to spend $500 on going to this Chiefs game.
All right, well, fuck you, Tanner. You want to go to the game with me, dude? You gonna buy a ticket?
$100. Yeah.
Oh shit.
I ain't going. I ain't paying out that money. Plus,
okay, well,
you don't want me in Arrowhead. What's wrong with you? Do you want me to risk Arrowhead in a playoff game?
I'd rather I'm not.
If you don't pay for that fucking ticket, it's going to go to a Bengals fan. I'm telling you that right now.
No, you don't get it. It's not the fact. I would love to go. I can't go because it's not a good time for me to go during the season.
What if I buy your ticket?
I mean,
what if I pay?
You're going to get blamed a lot if something happens.
None of us are going to go to the game. Okay,
that's all I'm going to say.
We're not going to the game this time.
I'm just saying, like, I'll go.
No
but
game.
I'm not responsible of the results of the actions on Sunday.
You guys think we should try to get a suite next year for a buffoon suite? Maybe something like that.
Well, we
Maybe-
already have a suite at the draft.
Honestly, though, I've been
NFL
to I've been to
draft.
the suites for games before, and it sucks. Like it's
Does
not
it?
it's not as fun. Yeah, I've been to a couple
Oh,
Chiefs games
shit.
in a suite, and it's not the same experience. I mean, if you're gonna go to the game, you want to be out in the atmosphere, and it's just not the same. So, and I don't really be yelling at plexiglass in front of me. So
Yeah, it's
yeah, it's
let's
not the
see here.
same.
Two Full says parking lot will be 150, hot dog 50, beer 100. I'd rather pay my mortgage.
I heard the parking lot is $75.
It's
you can-
still
lowered it this
60.
year.
yeah, you can pay online on that. You have
It's
to pay.
60,
You have to pay
yeah.
early anyway. So, Scott says Tanner's tailgating during the whole game in the parking lot. Look, that's where I should be. You don't want me in that stadium for reasons here. And then Two Full says, fun fact: my mom's friend was the Donkey's Horse Thunder. She had a suite. I went every year the Chiefs game in Denver. That's awesome.
What if we do this,
Donkey's
guys?
his mom. Wait,
It
your
was
mom's
the Broncos horse suite. So the Broncos suite. So got to do a Broncos suite.
Hmm. Yeah, hey, I get it.
I can say that
It means he got to see
private restroom, all you can eat prime rib, and all you can drink is worth it.
he got to see Jamal Charles put up a big number on him then at that point. It was
Yeah.
259 rushing yards back
Yeah.
in 2009.
So he got to see his Chiefs do action. That's awesome.
Yeah, if that's the case,
That's
not
great.
that I know his age, but
That's great.
yeah. So I'm also from Colorado. I lived in Colorado for 4 years,
Awesome.
so I'm very familiar with the Broncos fans out there and just the whole atmosphere of all those things. So, yeah, Scott. So we had a 30-minute topic about this to begin the show, and I'm not going to dive over it all the way again because we went pretty deep. And
One of us does.
yeah, one of us does. One of us does to answer your question, Scott.
Yes.
So I'll put it that way.
What?
One of us does.
Has an injured dick?
No, one of us picks the Bengals to win. Is what
Not that.
is the question. So I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah,
If,
no.
if Scott wants to hear our full in-depth analysis of the game, you can go back a little ways because we kicked it off with Chiefs, of course.
That defines the whole thing. Like,
Well,
it'd be
skip
like-
through the first 25 minutes and then we get into it. So
Hey, so yeah, Clinton Portis had 5 touchdowns that game he went
Clinton
to.
Portis.
So-
Oh, that's my hero.
I went to the left-handed Patrick Mahomes game and got called a Mahomo. I got called a Mahomo. I was a Mahomo all of a sudden. It's such a weird thing to be called.
Gosh.
So
I didn't pick. Don't worry. I didn't pick the Bengals.
right, Tanner
Yeah,
cannot
I'm
figure
go.
only,
it out,
I'm only
dude.
doing
Figure it
that when
out.
I'm around Botkins.
Yeah.
Figure out who did that bullshit.
That was
Yeah,
the
well,
game.
that's up
He's
to you,
he's
man.
referencing the game where Clinton Portis had the WWE title after
Yeah.
the game, and he was all
Yeah.
proud of himself. But the Chiefs' defense was so freaking bad during that time period.
Oh
That was a
boy.
rough
And
time.
it was rough
Sick.
stuff. It was some slow shit
Sick
out
shit.
there. You know what I mean? So I get it. Well, guys, I did want to hold this up one more time.
Let's do it. Let's do
Um,
it, guys. It's
but,
an exciting
hey,
game.
Let's get this thing.
I'm just ready to watch it. It's 2023. It's a new year, a new result. Let's go.
Well, we'll be back, win or loss, next Wednesday, of course. And I'm hoping it's going to be in good faith and in happiness and all that kind of stuff. But we'll see how it unfolds. Looking forward to seeing your guys' reactions as well to the game. And let's hope it's some Super Bowl topics, of course. Any final thoughts?
I was really hoping I had our Chiefs intro outro on here, but I don't.
Tanner, what the hell? You're supposed to be the producer.
He's drunk.
Actually-
Outro.
Actually, did you guys never mind, I'm not gonna do it. All right, here we go, guys. We'll catch you next Wednesday. We'll have a show going into All-Star break here for a week before the Super Bowl. So anything else?
Go Chiefs.
See you guys.
Hey.